I get why the Dallas Cowboy fans are so overconfident this week. And it's not just that they've been sacrificing all the chickens in Dallas, which they have, but that's not what it is. I mean, when the injury report came out yesterday, Dak Prescott wasn't even on it. He wasn't even on it. After all the talk of, Dak's shoulders hurt, what are they going to do? He can't even throw. He's throwing in practice with his left hand. What are we going to do? He's really, really hurt. Oh my goodness. He's not even on the injury report. He's not even on it. They have all their weapons. Meanwhile, us, we're ravished with injury. We've been decimated. We lost another starter this week in Grugier Hill. Derek Barnett, who knows if he's going to play. He did come back to practice, but who knows? You don't have Jordan Howard. You don't have your first, second, third wide receiver. You don't have your right tackle. We are decimated with injury. And so I understand their overconfidence. But here's the thing. You don't play the game on paper. You got to take the field. You got to take the field, and you're coming to Philly. You got to take the field, and you know what? We're ready for you, Dallas. We're ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and we are 1 day away. 1 day away for the game I've been waiting for months. Since the schedule came out, I knew this was going to be an important game, and it is. It is a huge game for the Eagles, for the Cowboys, and I cannot wait. It is going to be something. Now, before I get into this video, I want to give a special shout out to one Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles has announced that he will retire at the end of the season, and I just want to congratulate him on a great career. I enjoyed watching him since he was with the Chargers. Then when he left the Chargers, there was a chance that we were going to get him, but he ends up going to the Saints. Eventually comes to Philly, and I have nothing but respect and love and admiration for Darren Sproles. I want to wish him well going into the future of life and whatever he does. Darren Sproles, Mighty Mouse, has been something, and I'm glad that he got to wear the midnight green and win a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Now, when we look at this game, we can talk all the trash and all the bullcrap all week. All that's done. It's time for football. It's time for the Eagles and the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys have owned us over the last 4 games. I mean, they really have. I don't count the second game in 2017 as anything. The Eagles had their third stringers in versus Dallas. So I don't, that to me is not a big deal. But we get swept last year. We take a beating, a double moonwalk out of the ass versus Dallas early on in the season. And I'm sick and tired of losing to this team. I'm really sick and tired of losing to this team. And I want us to give Dallas and their fans, I want to give them what they really want for Christmas. I want to give them what they really want, and that is to fire Jason Garrett. I want his ass fired, and I want the Eagles to be the team that did it. He has been a coach. I don't know how he could have been a coach so long, except for he's a yes man for Emperor Palpatine. So here's my thing. This game is huge, and when you look at the injuries and you look at matchup on paper, Dallas, with all their talent that they have, especially offensively, and then the Eagles, how beat up they are. Of course, you're going to think, this should be a no-brainer, especially Dallas scored, 40-plus points last week. So I get why, while everybody's picking Dallas, I get it, I really do. But you got to play the game on Sunday. You have to play, and it's at home. It's in Philly. That's a big advantage for us. It's a big advantage, and we got to play the game. And this is not going to be a pretty game. I don't think this is going to be, clean game. I don't think it's going to be 30-plus points for both teams. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be very sloppy at times. I think it's going to be It's gonna be one hell of a fight, and I think it's gonna come down to late in the fourth quarter, and I think it's going to be fairly low scoring for the most part. But this game is something. This is going to be something. Now we know Dak Prescott is going to play. The question really is with him is how hurt is his shoulder? I'm sure he's hurt on some level, but will it hinder him throwing the ball at all? That's the important thing to know. If Dak Prescott has trouble with the vertical passing game and can't throw the ball downfield because of that shoulder, that would be a huge problem for Dallas. Because one of the things I think that you can really kill the Eagles on consistently, and you can keep doing it and they can't stop it, is the vertical passing game. The Eagles give up chunk yards, big plays, more than anybody that I've ever seen. I'm not even kidding. Now, I think they're like the ranked third worst when it comes to those kind of plays. But it seems like every time a team goes downfield, if the quarterback doesn't overthrow, the guy's wide open. So if Dak struggles with that vertical passing game because of the shoulder, that's where I think Dallas could have a real problem. Now, the number one key for me in this game is going to be stopping Zeke Elliott and Pollard. You got to stop the running game. Keep Dallas out of third and short situations, because the worst thing that can happen for the Eagles is you can't stop Zeke. And then what happens is Zeke, he gets them big chunk yards running, he gets them third and short situations, then the play action starts to work, and then we got big problems. We got big problems. The number one key in this game is you got to stop the running game. You got to stop the running game, force Dallas into third and long situations, and you got to get pressure on Dak Prescott. You got to get pressure, and I think Schwartz is going to have to get inventive of how he does it. I think standing back and just rushing for all the time or playing to the sticks, he's going to eat you alive. He's going to eat you alive. You have to get pressure on him, okay? He's still going to make his plays. He's still going to get out of the pocket. He's going to make throws. It's going to happen. But if you can get pressure on him, hit him, test that shoulder out, and see what happens, I think you have a better chance. The Eagles have to find a way to stop the big plays, the big chunk yards. And if you remember, the games in which we've played really good defense, the Buffalo game, the Seattle game, the New England game, all those games, there was weather conditions. There were weather conditions that hindered the passing game, especially the vertical passing game, and that played right into the Eagles' hands. So when I look at this game, okay, it's more than just about Carson Wentz or anything. I think the key to this game is the defense. The defense cannot give up the big plays and has to stop the run. It has to. And if they can't do it, then we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. Because if you remember the Redskin game last week, you have the Eagles. They go down, they have these 15 plays, 8, 9, 10-minute drives, things like that, right? And then they score, Washington gets the ball, and in 3 plays they're at our 30. We give up too many chunk yards, too many easy plays, too many big plays. This is the biggest issue to me going into this game, okay? I know for the most part what I'm going to get out of my offense. I do. I know that they're injured, they're banged up, especially on the outside. You're going to have to have these methodical long drives and get hopefully points out of it in order to beat Dallas. And of course that's good because you want to keep that offense off the field. But Dallas is more explosive than the Giants. They're more explosive than the Redskins. And the defense is going to have to step up their game. Jim Schwartz needs to have a great game plan for tomorrow. So if the Eagles can stop the run, get pressure on Dak Prescott, force them into third and long situations, I think the Eagles have a really good chance to win this game. I think if the Eagles go into the fourth quarter and this game is within reach, I like the Eagles' chances. What scares me and what you saw last week versus the Rams was when Dallas gets up early, they play a lot better. If they get up 14-0, if they get up 10-0, they're very hard to beat. And when we played them the first time, we had 2 turnovers the first 2 possessions. And you know what happened? Dallas went ahead and they were hard to beat. I think they went up 14-0 early on us. Same thing happened to the Rams. But if the Eagles could go up early, then I think it's interesting to see what the Cowboys players do. Do they quit on Jason Garrett? What are they going to do? But Dallas being behind is a better scenario for us. Them going up early would be a bad thing. Now, when it comes to the offense, it all starts with number 11, the North Dakota Assassin. This, in my opinion, is the biggest game of his career. You can argue that the 2017 Los Angeles Rams game that we clinched the division was his biggest game. I can say, okay, that's true. I would put this game with that. Because if the Eagles lose, they're eliminated. They're done. They're out. Okay, if they win, they have a chance to wrap it up next week versus the Giants, which then would be his new biggest game of his career. But this is a huge game for Carson, and I'm sold on Carson Wentz as our franchise quarterback going forward. I'm sold on him. I love him. I've been very impressed overall with everything he's had to overcome and go through this season. I think Carson Wentz has shown me a lot, and that's not going to change based on this game. What this game is going to show me, though, about Carson Wentz is where he's at in his rise to a elite franchise quarterback. Where's he at? How much further does he need to go? And we're going to find out, because if he can lift this team up with all the injuries and everything they don't have, and he can still overcome all that and beat Dallas, a team that on paper should beat us, a team that everybody's so overconfident about. If he can raise his level of play, raise these guys' level of play, he's going to be a lot further in reaching his ceiling than a lot of people thought. So this is a real good measuring stick of where Carson Wentz is in his career and where he has to go. This is going to be it's going to be insane. I'm so excited about this game. I'm not even gonna lie. I woke up and when I woke up this morning, all I could think about was the fake kneel down by Randall Cunningham way back when against Dallas. I don't know why that's in my mind. Maybe it's because somewhere in my subconscious, I believe this game could be one of those classic games we think about for years to come if the Eagles could win. Now, offensively, what I think the Eagles really need to do is they really need to take advantage of the running backs and their tight end. Obviously, Dallas knows that the tight ends are where the Eagles are going to go, where Carson's going to want to go, but Dallas doesn't cover tight ends well. They don't play tight ends well. And one good thing about this game is when you look at where Dallas's strengths on defenses are and things like that, and then where their weaknesses are, I think that the guys that we still have at the positions we have them is not a good matchup for Dallas. So I think that the tight ends, you can take advantage of Dallas with Ertz, with Goddard. The running backs, I think if you run right at Dallas, if you run right at those linebackers, don't play the side-to-side game, but run right at them, you can wear them down, you can run on them. I think they have trouble covering tight ends, and this could be the key for the Eagles. I would run the ball. I would establish the run early. I believe that you have to use Miles Sanders as much as possible. You can't hold him back. I need him in the running game. I need him in the passing game. I want to treat Miles Sanders like Brian Westbrook. I want to move him all around and get him into mismatched situations because he can receive and he can run. You got to use Boston Scott too, and then, hey, look, sprinkle Jay Ajayi in there. You got to definitely do it. So if you can run the ball, especially north-south versus the Dallas Cowboys, use the screen game against the Dallas Cowboys. Those are things that they have trouble with. They also have trouble, like I said, covering the tight end. Now, they're going to put their best corners on them. They're going to double Ertz. They're going to do all those things. But I still think they can get open. And if the Eagles can come out, use misdirection, maybe even trick play, right? Somebody said use Greg Ward in a flea flicker situation because he's a former quarterback. I think that'd be a great idea. The Eagles need to present things that Dallas has not seen on tape. They need to. So when I look at like Robert Davis off the practice squad, right? He was open a couple times last week. They didn't throw to him. I want to see design plays to him. He has 4.4 speed. Why not play action, send him down streaking, take a couple shots long. We don't throw vertical very much. It's time this game to start. If you can give Dallas things they haven't seen, run the ball, use the tight ends, use the running backs in the passing game and the screen game, the Eagles are going to have a good chance, especially if you can have 10-play drives, killing 6-7 minutes, keeping the offense off the field. You're in good shape. And like I said, if the Eagles go into this game and it's close, I think they're going to win it. I think if Dallas is up early 14-0, something like that, I think we're in trouble. I need a drink. Sorry, my mouth is all dry. Too much eggnog. What are you going to do? You know? But I'm excited. I will definitely be streaming this game. Definitely. So come hang out with me. This is going to be intense. This is going to be one of those moments that we could remember for a long time. And I'm curious to see what Carson's going to do and how he's going to handle it. I really need Doug to have a good game plan. I really need him to have a good game plan. And I can't say enough. You have to show Dallas things they have not seen. Do it early. Do it in those first 15 scripted plays that we seem to have trouble with. I would really like to see a rollout situation where you go deep to Robert Davis, or you use Ward in certain situations. Do some stuff that they haven't seen, because if the Eagles can find ways to get chunk yards and some quick scores, which they usually don't, and their defense can play a decent game, they're going to win. They're going to kick this team's ass. Double moonwalk this team's ass. So overall, when I look at this game and I'm making a prediction, I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm overconfident we win, we got this. I'm very nervous about this game. Why shouldn't I be? The Eagles haven't been consistent all year, but oh, by the way, either have the Dallas Cowboys. So who's going to show up? Who's going to show up tomorrow? That's what's going to be interesting. Now, if I had to make a prediction for this game and I had to see it playing out in my mind, I believe we're going to see a situation where the Eagles, they're down like 20, 23, 21, something like that late in the fourth quarter. And I believe the North Dakota Assassin is going to go down and put the Eagles in a situation to kick a game-winning field goal as time expires. So I think the Eagles are going to win tomorrow 24-23 on a Jake Elliott 51-yard game-winning field goal. That is my prediction. We'll see what happens. If the Eagles win, they still have to go and beat the Giants. So it's going to be very interesting. We'll be streaming tomorrow. And a special shout out to my man Jadis Young. I love you, buddy. Thank you for everything you do in supporting this channel. I just want to throw that out there. I promised him I would. And you'll get another one tomorrow during the stream. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Go Birds. And don't be a dingbat.